Hello folks, welcome to the stream of Genshin Impact. Today I'll be taking this Abyss run for a spin. This time around it's called the Thrusting Moon. Interesting name. But the Abyssal Blessing includes the normal attacks being increased by 20% after the active character makes use of the elemental skill, and that effect lasts for around 10 seconds, and the tally will be kept when this character's normal attack hits opponent. Hmm. They'll keep track of it, but it's used to keep a stack of these buffs, and once it reaches up to 3 times, a shockwave is unleashed, and that shockwave ends up dealing true damage to the opponents. This is the first abyss that gives you 150, 200 primo gems per flow, so it's one of the new ones. And from this update onwards, I think it's from July, where we'll get a new endgame content called Imaginarium Theater. I wonder how that will look like. So let's get started with Abyss. Let's take a quick teleport to the place where this thing happens. Interesting. Right, and here's my result for the last Spiral Abyss run. Reached the bottom of the Spiral Abyss, 12th floor, 3rd chamber with 36 stars. Let's see if you're able to do that great of a performance this time around. If I get 33 as a free-to-play player myself, I should be fine, but if you're able to get 36, that would be amazing. And yeah, that's the same thing, Trusting Moon and the buff that's applied from it. This time around it's Chlorine that got released, so it would be interesting to see if they include something that's very related to how Chlorine's kit works. But for now, the ninth floor should not require anything specific, and related to the nation in content over here, it's Fontaines, of course. It's the nation of Hydro, so any hydro reaction, or specifically vaporized reaction, the reaction between Hydro and Pyro will give you the bonus damage here for 5 seconds, and if you're keeping dealing that continuously, that would be golden. So the first half has these many people, the second half these. So I'm incentivized to use a Pyro character in the first half and a Hydro DPS on the second half. That should do it. So New Villette, Furina. Where's Kazuha? And then finally Diona. That should do it for the second half, and for the first half, of course, I'm very tempted to use Alicino. And I might just use her as well. I mean, come on now, she is one of the most powerful, heck, she is the most powerful Pyro DPS right now in the game, and using her is such a breeze. So that's the team. For the first half we have Bennett, Alicino, Xingqiu and Zhongli, and for the second half we have Furina, New Villette, Kazuha and Diona. Let's get started. Right. Well, New Villette could benefit from the max HP buff, but I'm going to take something that's beneficial for the both of them, and that remains to be the first one, no matter how insignificant that sounds. Here again, my units are so powerful that they probably should not need the buffs that are provided by the Abyss, at least for the 9th floor, but as the floors go on, I'll definitely be needing them. Right, so over here I'm still having this Zhongli's crystallized shield. Yeah, that's basically how powerful Furina's friends are. And just like that, the first chamber is done with. Let's move on to the second chamber. Of course, an attack boost of 20%, which compounds effective the entire flow, will definitely be a lot more useful than anything else. So I'm going to take that. I'll apply the Bond of Life. and then redeem it from them using the charge attack. Xingqiu is an amazing off-field Hydra player to a point that the only thing that could beat Xingqiu is a 5-star variant of Xingqiu. I really wish that in Natland there comes a off-field Pyro applicant who does not require you to enable the burst like you need to do with Xiangling, because sure, Xiangling's burst is awesome, it has a great multiplier, but then you have to play between the two things, that is elemental mastery as well as energy recharge, as well as sometimes pyro damage, or crit rate, crit damage, stuff like that. As compared to those, take for instance Neuvillette, the only thing that you need to build on him is HP. Even the artifact set gives him like a whopping 36% crit rate, so it's all around awesome. Right, for this one, characters elemental skill damage, because why not? But this is chamber 3, so this is the last chamber, so even though you pick something that's effective for this floor, there are no more floors for 9th floor. There's no more chambers, so this is basically it. In chamber 3, if there's something that looks better, pick that over something that looks bad but is effective throughout the floor. Because these things, they would be stacked, no problems with that. Let me see if I can nuke them with Zhongli. Yes, I can. Imagine damaging them so hard that they literally disappear. Where did she go? Good damage is there. When Alicino released, people were comparing her against the units like Hu Tao. Because of the bond of life mechanism, people were like, well, we gotta be really careful on how you use it, because the only person who can heal her is herself and no one else. While this is true, she doesn't have to have a very delicate amount of life. Wow, so the burst was not useful. Anyway, I would be starting off with the full gauge of burst with the next floor onwards, so it should be fine. Okay, so characters deal 50% increased damage to opponents that are affected by Hydra. Regardless of what reaction you make here, you will be in profit here. So let's see if chamber 1 or chamber 2 necessitate taking a Hydra or Pyro DPS. Well, for first half, I want to take Neuvillette and Kazuha because of the intense grouping power that Kazuha has, as well as the swirl that would ensure that they get defeated with their own elemental castings. And for second half, the usual Alicino team. Right, so Furina, Neuvillette. Where's Kazuha? Right, they had a Kazuha, and finally Diona. And for the second half, we'll take Bennett, the de facto Pyro Archon, until the real one arrives. Then Alicino, Xingqiu, and Zhongli. Let's see how this one goes. Elemental Burst deals 20% added damage. Now this is a tricky one, because if you choose the wrong one, the thing is some of these would actually repeat in the next chamber. For now, I'm going to stick with HP in the hopes of the burst coming back later, although I do think that my characters are strong enough to not need this, but you never know. We'll start with the skill, swirl it so that everyone's hydro resistance is shredded. Then we'll do the burst, and well, I think using burst was needless over there. The elemental skill of Alicino, elemental burst of Zhongli. Bennett's Burst, Xingqiu's Burst, and then a couple of skills because Sacrificial Sword lets you reset the cooldown timer. And well, she's going and going. Yeah, this is something that happens when you put a last input in Spiral Abyss. The last input is carried on, so it is assumed that you're still holding down the normal attack button, and hence the charge attack comes, due to which Alicino starts gliding. When in fact, you have lifted your hands up, the last input is taken into account. Let's go to Chambers second. Yeah, just like the last time, it doesn't, you know, punish us for choosing the wrong option because both of these are available again. But keep in mind that these things won't stack atop each other. So if the current buff is max HP plus 25%, if I were to take this again, it won't work. It will still be 25%. These things do not stack. So I'm going to have to take the Elemental Burst and then continue with that. Starting with Fuina's skill. Probably freeze them while I'm at it. Then move towards these people who might not have the Hydro Shred, but well, to be honest, they don't probably need it. Okay, so this is the one that has Pyro application, sorry, Hydro application on them. Right, that was quick. And I think it would be quite the opposite when the floors go on. There it goes. Wow, 84 from Zhongli? Are you kidding me? That's amazing. But that partly might be also due to the fact that I got this elemental burst damage bonus on this specific chamber, which of course would be applicable throughout the floor. So I can expect Zhongli to give me these big numbers even in this one. Defeating an opponent gives you 50% chance of ending the cooldown, but it can happen only once in 20 seconds. And restoring HP for all party members. You know what, I'll take the first one. Even though it sounds bad, it's the least bad of them all. There goes the burst. I know what you folks will say. I'm not using a dedicated healer with Fuina. Here's the thing. Zhongli heals, not Zhongli, Newlet. Newlet heals himself so quickly that Furina's buff is immediately applied. You know, the fanfare points are gained, they stack atop each other. Was it 117k from Zhongli? Because if it was, that was amazing. Okay, over here we are benefited by using an electro unit as well as a hydro unit, because of course, why not? So, what would we be facing against? I really hope this is not a ley line defense like the last time and the last to last time, because it gives him paranoia. I hate it, you know, it's like one thing is protecting yourself and the other thing is protecting something that can't even move. So good luck, you know, literally you would need it. For the first half, it looks beneficial to carry someone that is not electro, even though the electro damage bonus is there. So I'm going to take the Newlet team like the last time, and unfortunately I won't trust on Raiden for this one. And I'll rather rely on Alicino for the second half, because clearly Pyro would be more important over here, even though the Cryo Slimes would be more vulnerable to Electro. And over here as well, the Water Tainted Water Splitting Phantasm as well as the Veteran Tainted Water Spouting Phantasm. Where do they get these words from, these names? These are interesting names. And then there's this Geo Bishop. And finally, okay, yeah, so J Plume Terrashroom. Jade Plume Terrashroom is one opponent that would be very vulnerable to Electro, because the moment you apply Electro, all the seeds get um, fermented, and then this Jade Plume Terrashroom runs around the entire place and then just falls down. And then you have this one target that does not move, that you can, you know, just raise hell on, because their resistance to all elements have been decreased significantly, while the Ruin Drake Earth Guard is the one that keeps flying. um, I don't know if it's the one that keeps flying or it's the one that looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex and keeps going around the place, but we'll see. For now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna still use Bennett. Where's that little guy? Um, I'll probably keep Raiden as an off-field electro applier, because the electro application, the electro infusion comes from the elemental skill, so it's not that much of an investment. I'll take Arlechin over here, Raiden, and Zhongli, and in the first half I'll take Furina, Neuvillette, Kaidehara Kazuha, and finally Diona. Let's see how the leyline defense goes, if that is really the case on this one. Okay, I'll take HP on this one. Oh, it is indeed leyline defense, so help me God. This guy is not even cutting me slack. Like, did you see that big slime? It jumped and it was like, well, I'm gonna squish you, you little thing. Right. Okay, 96. So that leaves a lot of leeway for the second team to not mess up. But you know what, we'll see. I'm not too hopeful. Applying Bennett first and then doing that would have been beneficial. Beneficial, if you will. 184. Maybe I treated you too harshly. You're not as bad as I thought you were. $75, okay. Not that much of leeway anymore. But then again, I have 15% more for the 3 stars, so there it goes. 11, 2 is the way we'll go to. Okay, so on this one, I think, oh, okay, Element Burst was the one to be taken from the first half. So let's see if it comes back to me. If it doesn't, that shouldn't be that big a deal, because of my countless hours of artifact grinding. I have gotten myself a respectable set of units. I think I saw 99k from Neuvillette there. If you folks can freeze frame, let me know in the comments down below that if it was indeed 99k, that would be amazing. Alright, second half. Wow. For someone who can only heal herself and no one else can heal her, that amount of damage is huge. Alright then. Now we'll use someone who doesn't really require Bennett because she's strong by herself. Like, sure, Bennett does her good. And there she goes again, flying into the horizon. Or however much this game allows her to fly. Jesus. Alright. So max HP. I should be able to get 3 stars in all chambers without the burst, even though the burst would have been a better choice. If you're playing select burst, don't make the mistakes I did. You know, be a clever person who learns from somebody else's mistakes. But for now, I'll take I'll take energy recharge. It's not like my current team requires healing so badly. It could use some, but it's fine. It reminds me of that comic strip, of a dog sitting in a house that's on fire, and the dog's like, it's fine, you know, even when everything else around him is burning down. If you know where that comic strip is from, do let me know in the comments down below. Ah, crap, the bonus life is cleared. In order to act cool, I'm gonna assume as if it was something I intended to do, and rather not something that happened by mistake. Okay, yeah. Now it's gonna wreak havoc and then fall down. There it is. Just imagine nuking someone who is in deep slumber. But hey, it's needed for the Primo gems, right? Let's go to the floor 12, where the blessings would be applicable, but there's no Leyline Disorder to help you atop the blessings that you already had. So, yeah, that's nervous laughter for you. This is the one that's going to give me the pain, the the agony, the hurt, everything. Literally everything. Right, so, consecrated red vulture, this thing is pyro, elemental based life form, and the Bubbler Seahorse, while is elemental life form that has an electro shield, it will be vulnerable once the shields are taken down. And these two idiots, the Dancing Thunder and the Fiery Might, like if you don't coordinate killing them, good luck, the time's gone. And this Rock Fawn Riphound, these are things that no matter how strong a shield you carry, they'll shred you thin and they will deal you damage over time. So you need to carry a dedicated healer over here unless you're able to kill them quickly. And then finally, the Numa based enemies. Now here's the thing about Fontaine, the enemies are Numa based or Usia based, and there was this system in the beginning which was not used much to the greatest extent. So anyone who is powerful enough to brute force their way through, they will be able to, like there's no problem with that. So Ruin Drake Earth Guard, is this the one that flies or is this the one that, I don't know, maybe I'll take the Hydro units for the second half, and for the first half I'll take probably Electro based unit like the last time, Bennett, Arlecchino, Raiden Shogun and Songli. Also because the second unit does require an active healer, which in no way is Diona, so help me God. Bennett, Arlecchino, Raiden Shogun, Songli, and over here we'll have Furina, who will drain HP of the teammates regardless of if the enemy does it or not. Oh boy. Nuvalet. Who else is there? Kaidehara, Kazuha, and Diona. Should be fine. Right? Should be fine. Let's find out if it will be fine or not. Alright, max HP or elemental mastery. I'll take max HP. Nuvalet needs all the help that we can provide him with. Okay, so these things, they have this tendency to disappear and reappear when you apply it with like Electro, so it's a pain, and it not just disappears, it also becomes invulnerable to all the attacks that you provide it with. Okay, weird. Yeah, these are the places where I really miss having Xingqiu, because the vaporized damage is amazing. The overloaded damage, not so much. Yeah, this thing is trying to nuke me, but guess what? I have Zhongli, so I'm protected. It's my get out of jail card. For most of the times, there are things that Zhongli's shield cannot, stop, cannot stop from getting you hurt. But for now, these enemies, heh, get out of here. He should be able to deal with them no problems. Whoops, whoops. That was a weird sounding dialogue, let me tell ya. And the enemy is like goodbye when she dies. Or when she is defeated. Kazuha is definitely beneficial on this one. I wish there were multiple mages with their own set of things, own set of elemental reactions that I could use them against each other. That would have been more fun than whatever this is. But hey, these are pyro mages, so they will definitely get their shields. But these shields are easily destructible if you have hydro, and I have 2 units of hydro. Let's see how it ends up going. Oh wow. Kazuha is in a bad shape. I need to do something about it. Okay, how about these? It's been a while since I've seen these enemies. These were there in the chasm, I suppose, the last time I saw them. But since then, nowhere. Nowhere at all. Okay, so Kazuha is in a respectable state right now. Diona on the other hand. And wow, I got 2 stars. I need to do something about it. Let's try to get 33 on this one, shall we? Max SP is already there, so I'm going to take Elemental Mastery over here. Yeah, this guy takes damage whenever he feels like it and decides to ignore it whenever he feels like it. Yeah, suddenly no more damage is taken anymore. Amazing. Amazing. Let me see if you step back, or if you will step back. Oh, you did. Amazing. Okay, you step back again, and now I'm spending my precious stamina chasing behind you, and I don't like it. Okay, off it goes. That was some good time. It could definitely be better, don't get me wrong. Let's see if I can defeat these 2 people at once. It seems that I was able to. Okay, not bad. I'm gonna need healing over here. No matter however much healing I provide over here, it's not sufficient. I'll definitely need some more. Unless, of course, I was able to kill them quickly, which I failed miserably to, and now Diana's paying the price. Mm-hmm. How can I do this and probably stay right here? Because I have some more time and it's the second half. I have 40 seconds before I lose the window for 3 stars. And 3 stars? We have it. Down to the last chamber. I might have to do the first chamber again with a different set of teams. But hey, if it's 33 stars we'll get, no matter how hard we try to push the wall and the wall won't budge, we'll settle for 33 stars. We are not 1 plus. We always settle. Okay, so elemental mastery is here. We'll take burst. Technically 25% of HP heal to all party members could be helpful for the team that has Forina, but let's escalate the DPS ceiling. Okay, so this team needs Raiden, and it needs Raiden badly. Because this thing disappears, and the only way of bringing it back is by applying Electro. The one complaint that I have with enemies in the Abyss is they have a very small amount of downtime. Like very small. The moment you start attacking them, they're already up and going about. I'll use the burst to reset the cooldown timer for my Arlecchino's elemental skill, which would give me some semblance of a big PP damage. I'm thankful that Raiden looked at the right direction before she went to town with her burst, because that would be bad if she, throws the first strong attack of her burst in the wrong direction. Alright. Level 100, multiple crowd. 9 of them. Right. All of these are vulnerable to Hydro. So this is like a tailor-fit team for them, for the mono Hydro potential that this team has. Okay, the shield got purged. Kazuha is in a bad state, but well, not unfortunately. Fortunately, we have just a couple more enemies left. And we'll do this. We'll do this as well. I think that should be good enough for 3 stars in this flow. So we have finally reached the bottom of the abyss with let's see how many stars we have gotten. And that would be 35, which sucks. Now if I may ask you folks to stay around for a little while, allow me to rerun the first chamber and the first chamber alone with a different team, in the hopes of getting 3 stars over there. And in the second half, of course, that's a no problem. The first half is the only one that has problems. So instead of Raiden, I'll take Xingqiu over there, because vaporized damage is a lot better than overloaded. So Bennett, Arlecchino, Shengshu, and Zhongli. And over here we'll take Furina, Nuvolet, Kaidehara Kazuha, and Diona. It's a good thing that it's the first chamber and not the last chamber where I messed up, because in order to get to the last chamber I'll have to do from the very first one until the last one, and that would have been painful. It's just the first one, so if things mess up, I'll quit in between. I'll try again. None's the wiser. So let's get started. Right, so over here I'm gonna rely with Elemental Mastery, but well, this is characters with HP less than 50%. If it was more, then oh boy, this would have been amazing. But yeah, for now, the Elemental Mastery would probably be a better deal for me. Nuke them with Zhongli. And then, before these idiots disappear, please don't. Right, there it is. Now I can get myself both an invisibility frame just because of the burst animation, as well as, wow, that's 90k from Arlecchino, 111k. It makes me wonder how exactly would any character be any better than how good Arlecchino is, because, you know, this is the kind of character that we dreamt of since Hu Tao got released, and we were like, well, no one be any better than Hu Tao. We were proved wrong, and thankfully so. $63k without Bennett, that is. Let's use Bennett now and use Zhongli's nuke. 73k, not bad. One of the things I forget is attacking their pets instead of them, because when they get their pets out, they have this improved resistance to all kinds of damages, but once you take them down, once you take their pets down, their resistance is so darn bad that you should be able to kill them in one shot. Yeah, I wish I could have used Kazuha first, but it's fine. I can do it now. Let's see if that amount of time is enough for me. Yeah, let me get back the shield. The one thing about Zhongli is that, you know, you can keep attacking your enemies without interruption, and Nuvolet could use someone like Zhongli, unless you have the additional constellations that provide you with interruption resistance, you know, all that things. Being an F2P, I'm here for the experience. I won't go for additional constellations unless I'm lucky enough that, you know, I get them with the difference of like what? Oh wow, we don't have a lot of time left. Nope. 4 seconds. And well, I'll complete it for the sake of completing, but I'm gonna accept my defeat on this one. Yeah, 2 stars only. Leave for now. Let me see if I can make better comms, but I suspect not. Abandon the challenge for now. If I were to start, and I wonder if electro units would be able to quickly defeat the primal constructs and repulsor. Yeah, never mind. It probably is the content for the next video. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll claim these rewards real quick. Or I don't know, I'll just let it stay and claim them when I'm finally done with the 12th floor. 9 of 9. If I'm able to do it. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. If you felt that you learned something from this video, or if you felt enjoyed, entertained from this video, hit that like button. It really helps me a long way. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.